You're listening to Equality Radio.
Equality Radio.
Fabulous.
Now, here's your host, Randall White.
Randall White on Q-Talk America.
6 minutes past the hour on this Friday. That's right, it is a Friday afternoon, and we are so happy you could join us here on Equality Radio. I am your host, Randall White, and I don't know if you've been following this story out of Indiana or not, but a big turn in it today. Gay license plates are returning to the Hoosier state. This news coming down just a short while ago, and after very heated and controversial debate of the fundraising rainbow plates, the Indiana Bureau, not department, it is the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles, so the BMV, has permanently reinstated the Indiana Youth Group's specialty plate, which helps fund gay and lesbian youth group there in Indiana. A little more than a week ago, the ACLU entered the picture, filing a lawsuit in U.S. federal court against the BMV in order to get this plate reinstated. The nonprofit's struggle has gone on for years, since 2010, when the Bureau originally denied a request for the plate. But IYG, the Indiana Youth Group, as they're called, the plate was later approved just last year. Then lawmakers quickly tried to pass a bill that would block it, but were unsuccessful. So then they turned to the Bureau itself and begged the leaders there to block the plate. And that effort worked until last month, when the Bureau reversed that decision and said the plate could be issued on a technicality. Then, just last week, BMV Commissioner Scott Waddell, I believe is how it's pronounced, stepped in as the final authority and again blocked the plate. Now, today, we switch right back over again. The decision has been reversed, and the license plate can be issued permanently. However, not in the original format, and we'll explain that when we welcome to the show in our next segment the executive director of the Indiana Youth Group. Will join us for a few minutes to talk about today's decision, why it's a little bit different than what they had wanted, and those sorts of things. They're on their way out to celebrate with dinner and those sorts of things. But fortunately, we'll get a little bit of time in there so we can talk to her and find out. It's a really big day for them today. So I'm glad we could fit them in the news segment there. Then at the bottom of the hour, we welcome the Reverend Dr. R. Scott Colglazier. He's the senior minister of First Congregational Church of Los Angeles, also the author of a popular blog called Take a Breath. And the Reverend will be joining us to talk about his views on the Prop 8 and DOMA decisions, but also something that has shown up following those decisions. It is a very unique way to get married in Los Angeles. So one of the best gay men's chorus in the nation is the one there in Los Angeles. They will sing at your ceremony there in the First Congregational Church. If you've never seen this church before, let's see, we have some, we'll show you the pictures later on if you're watching online. We'll show you some pretty stunning pictures of the inside of this church, and it would just be a dream wedding. So there's a bidding war going on for this right now, and clearly it's a fundraiser as well. But we'll talk to the Reverend. The Reverend's a very, very interesting man, and so we will get the lowdown on all of that. All right, we are at the end of June, and as you well know, this is Pride Month, and the end of June is when it really heats up, literally and figuratively. It's where we broadcast right now, 95 degrees outside. That's hot for coastal California, and so we're not quite used to it. And I know that those of you listening in Arizona and places like that are just saying, yeah, not a big deal. That's a cool day. I believe in Death Valley today and in the coming days, there is a chance the mercury could rise above 130 degrees. I think the record in Death Valley is like 138 or something. And it was an all-time record until, I think, a temperature in the Sahara Desert, I think, broke that at some point. That's just speculation on my part. But at any rate, it is Pride season and really heating up. And I just wanted to go down a list of some of the places where you could enjoy that. Right now, there are Pride celebrations going on in Barcelona, Spain, Oslo, Iceland, Houston, Texas, and Toronto, Canada. Now, those started back on the 21st, but they culminate this weekend. And so that's typically when the big parades and the big parties and all that sort of happen. So big weekends in each one of those world cities. Then here in the United States, San Francisco, of course, has one of the best prides in the nation. Typically, 500,000 to 1 million people turn out for the parade down Market Street. You do not want to miss San Francisco's LGBT Pride at least once in your life. You need to attend, and it's happening this weekend. Good luck on getting a hotel room. And then Chicago, Illinois has their Pride going on as well. I've been to Chicago Pride many times. However, I will say this. My favorite big event in Chicago for the gay community is Halsted Street Days, and that's held in August. I don't know. I prefer it over their Pride celebration, although it's a great Pride. But check out Halsted Street Days sometime. Then New York City has Harlem Pride going on and also New York City Gay Pride. Those both culminate this weekend as well. Then single day events are Minneapolis, Twin Cities Pride celebration. That's on Saturday. In fact, most of these are on Saturday. St. Petersburg, Florida for St. Pete Pride. And Albuquerque, New Mexico is on Saturday as well, the 29th. I'll tell you what, I've been to Albuquerque's Pride and I loved it. I actually prefer the smaller Pride celebrations, mid-sized city. Albuquerque is actually pretty large. But I'll tell you what, it is worth a trip to the Southwest to enjoy that. And Albuquerque is high enough in elevation that it doesn't get absurdly hot. In fact, it's probably cooler than it is here in coastal California right now. Seattle, Washington has their Seattle Pride Parade is on Saturday. Their big Pride Festival is on Sunday. And then back to world events, Paris, France has Gay Pride Paris on Saturday, and Helsinki, Finland has their Pride going on right now, and it culminates this weekend. So quite a number of events there to enjoy. July has events, not nearly the number that you find in June. Here where I live in San Luis Obispo, our Pride is held the weekend of the 13th and 14th. If you've never been to San Luis Obispo before, Oprah called it the happiest place on earth. Several other studies have shown the same thing, that we're just extremely happy here. And I know I am, because I love this show so much, and I love talking to you guys each and every weekday from 3 to 4 here on Q Talk America. All right, stick around. We're headed to Indiana right after this commercial break to get the very latest on that extremely controversial license plate that funds a gay and lesbian youth group, IYG. We're back in just a moment.
Equality Radio.
Join the conversation. Give us a call. 424-272-6365.
Equality Radio.
And then at the bottom of the hour, we continue the conversation with the First Congregational Church of Los Angeles. You won't want to miss that segment. You're listening to Equality Radio. We're back in just a moment. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar is the place Las Vegas locals and tourists alike go to enjoy a welcoming environment with a small town feel. Meet up with friends and relax at Flex. Open 24 hours a day. Flex is located on the west side of Las Vegas at West Charleston and Arville, just 4 miles from downtown and the Strip. Flex is known for its friendly bartenders, loose gaming, and inexpensive cocktails. Stop by whenever you're in Vegas and play a game of pool. Meet a friend, or even make a new one. To see the schedule of drag queen karaoke, dance club activities, and gaming options, log on to flexlasvegas.com. That's flexlasvegas.com. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar, the place to enjoy our Las Vegas. Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes
Or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
And you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar is the place Las Vegas locals and tourists alike go to enjoy a welcoming environment with a small town feel. Meet up with friends and relax at Flex. Open 24 hours a day. Flex is located on the west side of Las Vegas at West Charleston and Arville, just 4 miles from downtown and the Strip. Flex is known for its friendly bartenders, loose gaming, and inexpensive cocktails. Stop by whenever you're in Vegas and play a game of pool. Meet a friend, or even make a new one. To see the schedule of drag queen karaoke, dance club activities, and gaming options, log on to flexlasvegas.com. That's flexlasvegas.com. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar, the place to enjoy our Las Vegas.
You're listening to
Randall White on QTalk America. Equality Radio.
19 minutes past the hour. Big news out of the Hoosier State today. A controversy that has been going on for several years there over a license plate that helps fund a gay and lesbian youth group has had yet another turn, and this time it's in our favor. It's exciting news out of Indiana. Indianapolis specifically. Joining us on the line right now to help shed some light on exactly what happened is Mary Byrne. She is the executive director for the Indiana Youth Group, which is the group who was trying to get this license plate approved. Mary, first off, congratulations and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Randall.
So let's talk a little bit about the license plate first. You first issued or tried to get it issued back in 2010. And it's been a bumpy ride ever since, right?
Right. We applied 2 times and didn't get it. We had to sue. The ACLU helped us, and we sued for them to consider the plate, basically, make that decision process more transparent. Mm-hmm. We got it. So last January, we started selling them, and within 10 weeks, the state legislature tried to take it away from us through a law, and actually then at the very end of the session, 20 senators wrote a letter to the BMV asking for it to be taken away from us.
So it's the Bureau of Motor Vehicles in Indiana, so it's the BMV.
Right.
And And then it went sort of through a back and forth recently.
Yes.
The last month, it was announced that it would be okay to issue this plate. And then last week, the head of the organization threw a wrench into it again, right?
Yes, yeah. It was back, and then it was not back, and then thought it might be back, and today it's back.
I think there might be someone trying to dial on your line.
What?
Can you hear that? It's a dial tone. Scott Waddell, is that how you pronounce his name, the BMV commissioner?
Yeah, Waddell.
Yeah, Scott Waddell. He's been the one really pushing for this plate not to be issued.
Yes, and I don't really know what he has against us. I don't know whether it's really the BMV or if it's somebody that has ties to them that have been pushing this.
Yeah. But today he came out and said, no, indeed, the plate will be issued. However, it won't be in its low number form. And for people watching our video simulcast right now, we have an image of the plate with a low number. It just has 4 numbers and a couple of letters. This will not be the version of the plate that gets issued. Do I understand that correctly, Mary?
Well, in Indiana, when you get a specialty plate, the organization is able to say who gets the low-numbered numbers, low-numbered plates. So from 1 to 100, you can give to people who are past volunteers or staff, instrumental people in the community, that sort of thing.
I see.
And along with that, we were trying to use them as thank you gifts for donations. And that's what they said we were selling them for.
Okay, so how do these specialty plates work? If, let's say, I was registering a car and I wanted a plate and I thought, oh yeah, I'll get this IYG plate, and clearly those plates cost a little more money, you guys get a cut of that. Is that how it works?
Yes. It's $40 more to get that plate, and of that $40, we get $25 of it.
That's not a bad split.
No, it's a nice split. It means a lot of money. In the 10 weeks that we had it last year, we sold 800 plates.
Wow.
That's $20,000.
Now, I can only guess that each time this license plate has been pulled, that just generates money for you guys, does it not?
It does. Last year, out of the blue, just not soliciting or anything, we got 150 new donors.
150 new donors, because they're like, well, if they're not going to let us do it through the license plate, we're just going to send it to them directly. That's
exactly what happened. People were sending us $25, $40 checks and saying, that they just couldn't understand why they were giving us such a hard time.
Mary, you could go to the priciest marketing firm on Madison Avenue in New York or in San Francisco, and you'd never get the kind of coverage and publicity that your group has gotten over the past several years.
Oh yeah, front page coverage, and actually the Indianapolis Star, that's the local paper, is a pretty conservative paper, but they were all for us. It was they really kept the issue alive in front of people. So
yeah, because Indiana, as we know, is a very red state, and I would imagine socially very conservative.
Yes, and at the same time, I think Indiana, just like the country, is swinging.
Evolving.
Every time we come out, we give people the reason to not be biased.
That's
good.
That's
happening in our state, too, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Indiana Youth Group, or IYG. It's a home that is in Indianapolis, and you offer a lot of services for kids.
Yes. We're actually open 3 nights a week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. We have lots of programming. We're open to young people from 12 through 20. And they come, they have a good time, they get to meet each other, they meet adults. We have lots of educational programs and lots of fun things for them to do. Last year we had 750 different kids come through the center.
Wow!
So it's a big deal, and like you said, every time we're in the paper, more people know that we're a resource, and that's why we get more kids. So
I'll tell you, Mary, I think it's very impressive that Indianapolis even has an organization like this. I can tell you, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I don't know of any. I mean, now there's probably one that exists in San Francisco, but I had never seen a youth center. I wish there had been one for me when I was that age. It might have made some big changes.
Listen to this. We have been continually running since 1987.
Wow.
And we've had our facility, the Health Foundation of Indianapolis bought us a facility in 92. So we've been in the same place since 92, providing services all that time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Any statistics on how many youth have passed through the center all those years?
No, I have. Yeah. I would tens of thousands.
Right. It must be nice though to see some of them grown up now, getting into middle age and coming through, and then stopping by and saying hi and thank you and those sorts of things.
Yeah. One of our alumni is the first openly gay member of our city county council.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very happy to hear that. Well, congratulations on the news. A big win for you. I know that y'all are headed out to celebrate a little bit.
Yep.
And so, when I was in Indianapolis last, I ate at a restaurant that was owned by a pair of lesbians, or it might have been just one woman, and it was delicious. It was away from the downtown, and it was on a corner, and it sort of looked like a house. Greek? Yeah. Yeah, that could have been it.
Aesop's Table.
It was fantastic. It was so good. Yes. You have a good community there.
Yes, we do.
Uh-huh. And I'm glad that we could share it a little bit here on Equality Radio. I know that I know you need to get out, and they're all probably waiting for you. It's 6:30 there, so
yeah, we're getting hungry.
Well, yeah, eat up a storm, and congratulations from us here at Equality Radio.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Randall.
All right, stick around, everyone, because just after the commercial break here, we are headed to Los Angeles, where they're the first Congregational Church of L.A., in conjunction with the L.A. Gay Men's Chorus, are putting together a wedding package you can't believe. You got to hear this. You can bid on it. It could be yours if you got the funds, and it's not too bad considering how much weddings cost. You're listening to Equality Radio on this Friday afternoon. I'm your host, Randall White. We are heard exclusively on Q Talk America, Monday through Friday, 3 to 4. We're back in just a moment. Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org. You're listening to Equality Radio on Q Talk America, equalityradio.net, qtalkamerica.com.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes
or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
And you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar is the place Las Vegas locals and tourists alike go to enjoy a welcoming environment with a small town feel. Meet up with friends and relax at Flex, open 24 hours a day. Flex is located on the west side of Las Vegas at West Charleston and Arville, just 4 miles from downtown and the Strip. Flex is known for its friendly bartenders, loose gaming, and inexpensive cocktails. Stop by whenever you're in Vegas and play a game of pool, meet a friend, or even make a new one. To see the schedule of drag queen karaoke, dance club activities, and gaming options, log on to flexlasvegas.com. That's flexlasvegas.com. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar, the place to enjoy our Las Vegas. Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
You're listening to Equality Radio.
Equality Radio.
Fabulous.
Now, here's your host, Randall White.
Randall White on Q Talk America.
33 minutes now past the hour. Great to have you with us, everyone, on this Friday as we head into Pride Weekend in many big cities across the United States and around the world, for that matter. Hopefully you have some fun plans ahead. I should let you know that this hour of Equality Radio is brought to you by Flex Las Vegas. It is a really fun place to go, and I got to tell you this, it is owned by one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he donates so much money throughout the year to different LGBT organizations. Not only is he a terrific businessman, but he takes all those earnings and puts it into some great causes. So when you go to Flex, you know that at least a portion of the money you're spending does end up within our community, which is fantastic. All right, well, big rulings, of course, on Wednesday. If you were listening to Equality Radio at all, you know that we had 4 hours straight of live coverage following the Supreme Court decisions on DOMA and Prop 8. Boy, we had some of the biggest newsmakers from around the country right here on the show. That was fantastic. We got to hear their take on the historic day. Then yesterday, we spoke to Senator Tammy Baldwin, the first and only openly gay member of the U.S. Senate. Of course, she hails from the great state of Wisconsin. That was a terrific interview. Love Tammy very much. She's a terrific person. And today, we welcome to the program the Reverend Dr. R. Scott Colglazier. He is the main man at the First Congregational Church of Los Angeles, a beautiful building, by the way, and he also is, by the way, is an author of a popular blog called Take a Breath. Welcome to the program, Reverend Colglazier. Oh, you know what? Sorry. Wait, now let me try that again. Welcome to the program, Reverend.
It's great to be with you. Thanks so much.
You know, I'm ashamed to say, and I'm covering my face right now, but I've been to Los Angeles so many times. My in-laws are there, my husband's family. And we, on Sunday mornings, we just are never anywhere near that church. But every time and so I haven't been, but every time I drive past it, I just think, that place is gorgeous.
Well, we would love to see you some Sunday, but it is a gorgeous building. It's a Gothic cathedral right in the middle of Los Angeles, and we are the oldest Protestant church in the city, and so it has some historical interest as well as some architectural beauty as well.
Now, I'm wondering what your take is on Wednesday's announcements on DOMA and Prop 8. I guess for those of us here in California, Prop 8 was the big one.
Absolutely. Well, I just think overall it was a very good day for the LGBT community, but it's not just for that community. I personally think that it was a good day for our country as we took a step forward and we began moving closer and closer to marriage equality for all people and recognizing that discrimination and prejudice have no place on the American landscape. So I think it was a very good day. There's still many more steps to take, but a good day for America.
Now, whenever the topic of religion and the LGBT community come up, there's always a little bit of conflict. Pew Research just put out a poll earlier this month, as a matter of fact, on how the LGBT community perceives the different religions. Now, you mentioned that you're a Protestant church, and of the different major religions, the Protestant church is viewed by the LGBT community as the most friendly toward the group.
Well, I think we all know that not all religions are alike, and even though different people wear the same banner of Christian or Jewish or whatever it might be, there are certainly different thoughts and different degrees of openness in those particular faiths. I happen to come from a religious perspective that is deeply open and deeply committed to people understanding that we're all created in the image of God, that everybody deserves respect and love and welcome. And so part of what I try to do is to make sure that we are opening the doors of our church as wide as we believe that God's heart is open to all people, and that's pretty darn wide.
Do you find it difficult or maybe even frustrating to reach the LGBT community there in Los Angeles and let them know that the two groups do not have to be exclusive, Christians and LGBT, that there can be a blending and they can come together at your church?
Well, absolutely. That we want to try to get that message out because, let's face it, there's been a lot of hurt and a lot of wounding that has taken place, and a lot of it has been done in the name of God. And yet at the same time, I think that people are very open when they have a different perspective, a more healing perspective done in the name of religious faith. And so that's part of what we're trying to do in our church. This last year, we just entered into an agreement with the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles, and they are now rehearsing in our church every single week. They are doing concerts in our church. And so more and more, I think people are recognizing in Los Angeles that if they want a church that's open, that's rational, that's thoughtful, that's caring, that First Congregational Church is the place for them. And I think people in the LGBT community are beginning to see that, and it's been just a great partnership and a great evolution in our history as a congregation.
And as I understand it, your church is also a great place to get hitched and have the Gay Men's Chorus sing along at the event, too. You have a fundraiser going on. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, it was kind of a fun thing. It just sort of made sense that as a way of raising a few funds for the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles, what we did is that we offered and are auctioning off a free wedding at our church. And let me tell you, it is absolutely a gorgeous place to have a wedding. And so our wedding manager at the church, she actually has gone through a significant training to help her do same-sex marriages. Our clergy are all committed to that. Our congregation is committed to that. And so we're really opening up the doors wide for people. And as soon as it is possible in the state of California, we look forward to celebrating marriages, whether the couple is straight or whether they are gay. We want to celebrate marriages in a great way because it's such an important moment in the life of a couple.
The current bid right now online, I'm looking at Charity Buzz. We do have a link to this, by the way, at equalityradio.net, so you can find it for yourself. But the current bid is $2,400. The estimated value, as I would imagine, is $7,500. It's a steal right now, and somebody could get this incredible wedding. Talk about a dream wedding for a gay couple to have the L.A. Gay Men's Chorus sing along. And do I understand this correctly? They'll sing your vows as well?
Well, we'll work with them on the vows, but they will certainly be providing the music and the backdrop, and I think it could just be a great event, a sacred event, of course, but also a lot of fun and a lot of beauty, and so we're certainly looking forward to that. And it was also interesting, this week after the rulings came down from the Supreme Court, we actually had a gay couple call the church, and they have now booked their wedding for next June. And so we're going to think optimistically and move forward in that direction.
Now, a lot of people are familiar with, say, the United Church of Christ. That's where I got married just hours before Prop 8 was voted in. Yes. We got in right under the wire. And then also the Metropolitan Church is big in large cities, known primarily as a gay church. You're not known primarily as a gay church. You're like a blended church, right? Anyone's welcome.
Exactly. And, in fact, I've shared with my congregation that, we understand that there are faith communities out there. Primarily, they were founded for the gay community, and that's fine. But what I also think is that there are many people in the gay community, they just want to be a part of what I would think of as a normal, kind of open, welcoming kind of community, and they are happy to be accepted as gay or lesbian, and they want to be a part of our faith community. And so that's what we are, and I think it's a very special place, but I certainly understand and absolutely celebrate those congregations that were primarily formed for the LGBT community, because there was a time when the acceptance was so little across the board that they needed those communities, and they're still very vibrant in cities like Los Angeles.
Reverend, whenever you're part of a minority group, be it the lesbian gay community, a racial or an ethnic group, or in your case, a faith community, whenever somebody from that community speaks out or does something that is distasteful to the general population, others in that circle tend to cringe. If I see something that just gives gay people a bad name, I just think, I hope this doesn't get much publicity. How do you react? And then what do you tell your members on Sunday morning when ministers from the religious right just say some very hateful things toward or in reference to homosexuality?
Yes, well, I cringe right along with it when I hear those kinds of references. And part of what we're trying to do is have a perspective on faith and a religious community where I would say that religion is healthy and that it is affirming of the well-being of all people. And if we can do that in our faith community, that is a very good thing. I remember years ago hearing from a friend of mine.
Reverend, can I just have you hold that thought? Do you mind holding on through the commercial break?
Absolutely.
All right, fantastic. We are speaking with the Reverend Dr. R. Scott Colglazier, and we are back in just a moment here on Equality Radio on this Friday afternoon.
Equality Radio.
Join the conversation. Give us a call. 424-272-6365.
Equality Radio.
Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar is the place Las Vegas locals and tourists alike go to enjoy a welcoming environment with a small town feel. Meet up with friends and relax at Flex, open 24 hours a day. Flex is located on the west side of Las Vegas at West Charleston and Arville, just 4 miles from downtown and the Strip. Flex is known for its friendly bartenders, loose gaming, and inexpensive cocktails. Stop by whenever you're in Vegas and play a game of pool, meet a friend, or even make a new one. To see the schedule of drag queen karaoke, dance club activities, and gaming options, log on to flexlasvegas.com. That's flexlasvegas.com. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar, the place to enjoy our Las Vegas.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes
or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
You're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar is the place Las Vegas locals and tourists alike go to enjoy a welcoming environment with a small town feel. Meet up with friends and relax at Flex. Open 24 hours a day. Flex is located on the west side of Las Vegas at West Charleston and Arville, just 4 miles from downtown and the Strip. Flex is known for its friendly bartenders, loose gaming, and inexpensive cocktails. Stop by whenever you're in Vegas and play a game of pool, meet a friend, or even make a new one. To see the schedule of drag queen karaoke, dance club activities, and gaming options, log on to flexlasvegas.com. That's flexlasvegas.com. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar, the place to enjoy our Las Vegas.
You're listening to
Randall White on Q Talk America. Equality Radio.
49 minutes now past the hour. Time for our final segment here on Equality Radio. Final segment for the week. And boy, it's been an exhausting week. But on a positive note, right, for most of us, this just out from Reuters, a Reuters Ipsos poll, opinion poll of 410 Americans. We're asked a couple of different questions surrounding the DOMA and Prop 8 rulings, and about the same for each question. 41% agreed or strongly agreed with the court's handling of the cases. 25%, I want to make sure I have this correct, about a quarter strongly disagreed with the ruling, and then another quarter or so either were unfamiliar with the decisions or had no opinion. How could you possibly be unfamiliar with the opinion, even if you're not part of the LGBT community? It's still, it was really hard to miss it, I guess. But 1 out of 4 people in the U.S. Didn't have much of an opinion. One person who definitely had an opinion and actually sent out a press release with it is the Reverend the Reverend Dr. R. Scott Colglazier. He is the senior minister of First Congregational Church of Los Angeles, also the author of a popular blog called Take a Breath. All of this linked on our website at equalityradio.net under today's program summary. Reverend Colglazier, as we were going into the commercial break there, I had to stop you, but you were talking about how you feel when you hear someone from the far religious right say hurtful things toward the LGBT community, and then how you react to that. Oh, you know what? I've done it again. I didn't have you piped up. All right, there we go.
Okay,
now you're up.
Go. Thank you. Well, the only thing I would say is that, when I hear those kinds of comments and they're so sometimes derogatory or sometimes just completely ridiculous, they're cringeworthy, of course. Sometimes the only reaction is a true kind of just anger about it. And then, on the other hand, just recognizing that any time we diminish somebody else in our society, we're really just diminishing ourselves. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the more positive way of saying it is that any time we lift up somebody else in our society, we're also lifting up the whole of society. And that is, of course, what religion, when it's healthy, when it's rational, when it's compassionate, that, I hope, lifts everybody up. And that's the kind of religious faith that I'm trying to work with in Los Angeles.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm wondering your method of teaching from the pulpit and helping to explain God's message. So often the people on the far right will take single verses from the Bible and then hinge everything on that. What's your approach? What's your method in interpreting the Bible?
I think a couple of different things. The first thing that I try to do is that I try to help people understand that nobody takes the Bible literally at every single point. It is impossible. And even if you did it, it would be so ridiculous. It just cannot be done. And so what you have some people who take certain parts of it quite literally. What I try to do is go for the meaning that is underneath the text. And when you go for the meaning underneath the text, you begin understanding the bigger issues at play. And so, for example, with regard to homosexuality and the Bible, nobody, when the Bible was written, understood or even conceived of someone being gay. Mm-hmm. And so we now know psychologically that a person who is gay, that the message that they share over and over again is that this is who I am. Not just this is what I do or this is what I choose. This is who I am. And personally, I don't think people should be condemned for being who they are. And so I go for those bigger issues in the Bible, issues of love, of compassion, of acceptance, of celebration of people for who they are. Nothing brings God more glory than when a person can really be who they are in their lives. And so when we encourage people to do that, to me, that is always a very good thing.
Because really, Doctor, in the Christian tradition, the whole message of Jesus Christ was about love, correct?
It was about love, and it was also about justice. Mm-hmm. And in fact, Jesus' affirmation of people and their lives and lifting people up, this is what he did over and over again. He was not in the business of grinding people down. He was in the business of lifting people up. And to me, the church is never more faithful to Jesus than when the church can also lift other people up.
I think it's a terrific message, and I'm glad you're sharing it with a rather large congregation to boot. That's a big church you have there.
It's a big community. It's a wonderful community. And, the thing that I can really feel good about, it's that it's not just me who feels this way and trying to act this way. We have people in our congregation who are some of the most caring, loving, accepting people that you can ever find. And not only is there diversity in terms of sexual orientation in our church, there's a diversity of race, a diversity of ethnicity. And every now and then I have one of those moments when I look out at our congregation and I think, That's what the kingdom of God is supposed to look like and feel like, and we're not there yet, but we're heading in the right direction.
Those must be some fun and flavorful church picnics with a diverse group like that.
Well, first of all, you never know what's going to happen because you bring this diversity into a community, and every now and then there's a little tension, and every now and then a little friction, but oftentimes it's quite funny and lovely and beautiful, and that's really what a community is all about.
People can get more information on the church's website, which is FCCLA, standing for First Congregational Church Los Angeles, fccla.org. I just realized on our graphic here that I don't have the G on there. It is org.org. Also, we're directing you to gmcla.org. That is the Gay Men's Chorus Los Angeles. Is it chorus or choir?
It is the chorus. The Gay Men's
Okay,
Chorus
good.
of Los Angeles.
Yes. And the reason why we're directing you there, if you didn't hear the beginning of the last segment, is because these two organizations have joined forces and are offering a dream wedding, really, there at such a gorgeous church as it is. You can bid on it, and right now the bidding is just a fraction of what this would actually be worth. Are there any restrictions, Reverend, on when the ceremony can be held?
Absolutely not. You know, we work with all of our couples. They make a decision about when they want to get married, and of course it's always a scheduling issue, but we try to accommodate couples and their families and friends, and we're just really looking forward to working with the community on this one.
I think it's just terrific what you're doing, and the next time I'm down in Los Angeles visiting with the in-laws, we'll swing by and catch one of your sermons. I think it'll be uplifting, just like you said.
I would love to see you there.
Fantastic. Our guest today, the Reverend Dr. R. Scott Colglazier. Check out his blog, rscolglazier.com.
You've been listening to
Equality Radio.
Connect with us online at equalityradio.net.
Equality Radio.
Thank you, Doctor. Make it a great day.
Hey, thanks so much. Take care.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us this week on a really incredible week. What's next week going to bring? Oh, my. You're listening to Equality Radio. Catch us back here on Monday, 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. Have a great weekend. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar is the place Las Vegas locals and tourists alike go to enjoy a welcoming environment with a small town feel. Meet up with friends and relax at Flex. Open 24 hours a day. Flex is located on the west side of Las Vegas at West Charleston and Arville, just 4 miles from downtown and the Strip. Flex is known for its friendly bartenders, loose gaming, and inexpensive cocktails. Stop by whenever you're in Vegas and play a game of pool. Meet a friend, or even make a new one. To see the schedule of drag queen karaoke, dance club activities, and gaming options, log on to flexlasvegas.com. That's flexlasvegas.com. Flex Cocktail Lounge and LGBT Bar, the place to enjoy our Las Vegas.